Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, and today I'm going to be doing another free digital comic review video. Uh, Today I'm reviewing again two books, and I'm thinking that this is going to be my final video of this on Thursdays, and I think I'm going to move it to Mondays, because Mondays I'm more available for things like this. Thursday's kind of a tough day for me. Before I actually start, I want to share with you guys something I picked up from the comic book store that I didn't have in my Lowdown Looks video. I went to a new comic book store today trying to get Batman Incorporated issue number 8, of course the death of Damian, and everywhere is sold out, so it turns out I'm going to have to get it online. I really wanted it physically, but I'm going to have to get it online. But while I was there, they just got a vast array of back issues at this shop, and I was looking through them, and I saw this, and I was like, I've seen this before, and I've always, thought it was cool, and I really wanted to pick it up, so I finally got the chance, and I did, in fact, pick this up. And this is Daredevil issue 184, classic cover. If you are a Daredevil fan, you've definitely seen this before. Even if you're not a Daredevil fan, there's a good chance that you've seen this cover before. This is some Frank Miller Daredevil, and it's now the oldest comic that I own. At least issue-wise. But anyways, enough of that. Let's get into the review. Again, two books, and I'm going to start off with Marvel Universe versus The Punisher, and this is still by Jonathan Maberry. He's written all three Marvel Universe verses, and on art in here is Goran Parlov, which I'm not sure if he's done the art on everything. The art is pretty similar though, so maybe not. I'm not sure. But this first issue, I've read every first issue at least from every of the Marvel Universe versus, the Punisher, Wolverine, and the Avengers. And I'm pretty sure this is the first one that was written, and this one is the best one so far. There's just so much great stuff in this, and following the Punisher throughout the story is very entertaining because he is a survivalist in his own right. And he's pretty much the last, Marvel character, kind of superhero, the Marvel protagonist. He's the last one left that's not a cannibal. And it gives you the whole story of how all this started, again, like they have in, versus Wolverine and versus the Avengers. They do that. But they put more in this, where they have a little bit of funny stuff where it starts off, Punisher is talking about how he's hunted Deadpool. I think he says the 33rd time he's been hunting Deadpool, and he's hunted him 33 times, or for 33 days, and he's killed him 33 times. And so, because of course Deadpool regenerates, and he just names off a bunch of different things, different ways that he's tried to kill Deadpool, and so then now he's gonna try a different way this time. So he has to be creative with Deadpool, even though it probably won't work. And then he's just talking about how he killed Daredevil and how he's pretty much lived on, and he explains how he's been able to survive, pretty much, and talking about how every decision's a hard decision. And all this kind of good stuff, and it's very entertaining. So, if anything, I've said this with all the Marvel verses, except with the Avengers, since I actually finished it, but I've said this with Wolverine, and with now this, I really want to continue it and read the full thing. And hopefully I will one day, especially with this one, and I really like to read all three in a row, in order, and then do a review on all three of the stories. So it'd be 12 issues. So not too bad. But anyways, definitely I recommend Marvel Universe versus the Punisher, issue number 1. and just all the Marvel Universe versus the whoever's. Mabry does a really good job at writing those. And next up, for the second book that I have, or that I read Animal Man, issue number 1 by Grant Morrison and art by Chaz Truog. This is of course, the first issue. This goes back to '88, I think, is when this was written. And I say this because there's this part that I really like. I'm just gonna jump right into pretty much the end, where Animal Man, he's been called to San Diego to investigate this break-in, and it's at Star Labs, and him and the scientist are just having conversation back and forth, and Buddy Baker, Animal Man, he asked the scientist, he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "We're looking for a cure for AIDS." And I was like, whoa. I mean, AIDS now is very common in our world now. We all know about AIDS, and we have a pretty much a really good understanding of what it is. But back in '88, this is a new thing, pretty much. And so it's very interesting how they were able to put this disease, this really big, and what they didn't even know much about at that time, they were able to put that into a comic and do something with it, but not even anything major, at least for now. Nothing major about it have they done anything with. This is really about establishing Buddy Baker as Animal Man, and pretty much it's a story about him wanting to get back into superheroing. So we get the feeling that he's already tried to do this before. He's even mentioned he's already done some Animal Man superheroing before, and he kind of hung up the costume, and now he wants to get back, and his wife is kind of iffy about it. And so this is pretty much establishing his powers, letting us get to know him a little bit, and I've heard this is a great run, and so I definitely want to see what this run is about one day. Maybe not soon will that happen, but hopefully one day I can see what this run is really about, because I've heard it's a classic run. A lot of people consider Animal Man and Swamp Thing to be horror comics, and when I read the first issue of Swamp Thing in my last free digital comic review, I could see how Swamp Thing was a horror comic. I don't really see how Animal Man is, but I guess it's considered, horror-esque, so I'm guessing that Grant Morrison pretty much builds this idea, and we start off with this is a very bright comic, and the colors are bright, the art is it's very slick, and all this, it looks like a classic comic book, and it's very bright and all this other stuff. And if it becomes horror, then it will definitely be a change in pace, because this does not look like it's to be much horror in it. And I think that's pretty much it that I had on Animal Man. I really like this issue. I recommend both issues that I've read today for this review, and that's pretty much it for me. Yeah, so I'm Wellington signing off with the Comic Book Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.